I'm just glad it's finally here. I wish today was Friday, but we're almost there, which will give us one more day before the game. And I don't know about anyone else, but I'm excited that it's an early game. This long to wait for Liverpool, I'm happy we're playing. Um, so will we give Harry Kane a third chance? That's kind of a piggyback off of his kind of cheeky comment after the game at Anfield, where they win the penalty and he would give him two chances at penalty. Will we give him a third? Meaning, in the first game last year, he ripped us apart. And let's be clear, we gave them a lot of the joy that they got via law for the most part. Um, but they won the game. They won a game. You played was in front of you. They played. They beat us. Not gonna knock them for that. Um, so what we and of course at home, he did what he did, and then here's the third one. Look, here's the thing. All this talk about Tottenham being on the same level as us or passing us, arguably you could say that, and I just mean in recent times. I don't mean like as a club, but in recent times they have finished above us consecutively. They still have no trophies, um, but they played really well against us, and to go a full season not beating Tottenham at least once is to me unacceptable. As good as they are, as good as their manager has in play, as good as a lot of their players are, it's Tottenham, okay, and we need to be beating them. Hopefully, we can get the sweep. First things first, at Wembley or Spurnabow, as it's called by some people in London, some Spurs fans, even on the level of Liverpool. And I think what's up, my man? I think there's clearly like a social media banter rivalry going on. There's not a clubs. It doesn't make sense to have a rival between these two clubs. So, but for me, it's a bit of revenge. They got over on us last season. One fair and square, they just beat us. They were the better team. We were pretty bad, and we gave them some things, but they were the better team. The second game, some things happened. I think we know what that is, but just to wipe the slate clean and make it clear, we need to be punishing this team. When I mean punish, I don't mean 5-6-0. I just mean total domination. Even if it's 1-2-0, if we can just show up at their place, well, their kind of rented place, and really, really, really stick it to them, I think it really goes well for the beginning of this stretch of games. And one thing I want to address is this loser mentality a lot of Liverpool fans have. Oh, I'd be happy with a draw. Why on earth would anybody ever be with a draw? If it's Champions League and you're trying to win the group and a draw wins you the group, sure. Even then, are you happy? I'm never happy to lose or draw. I always want to win. Now, if we're in a game where we're losing and we fight back to draw, then it's like, it's a little bit of a relief. You're still not happy because you know that you lost the situation. Yeah, I don't get this whole. I'd be happy with it. I don't get this loser mentality that Liverpool fans have. The thing of the matter is, we want to be all we are Liverpool, la 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 la, and sing all these songs, but yeah, we don't want to 100% back them. And I think it's the whole idea of, well, it's a long stretch of games and we can get what we can get. No, we should be going for three. We should be going for three. And Spurs will think that they can get one over us, especially what they did last season. Now, if they're smart, they see that our team is much stronger than we were at that time. Think about the defense we had in that game. It was Alberto Moreno at left back. It was Mignolet in goal. It was Matip at center back. It was Lovren, and it was Joe Gomez at right back. So again, I don't see us. This is the difference in this game and this team now than it was last season. We played them at their place. The defense seems to be much better. I say seems to be because, let's be honest, um, we haven't played a real powerful force of a team. I thought it was a joke that people were saying Leicester is our biggest tough. No, Spurs is obviously our biggest tough. And listen, our biggest test. Um, and listen, Spurs can beat us. That's obvious. Anyone can beat anybody on their day. At the end of the day, if Spurs beat us and they're a better team, take my hat off. Give it to them. I don't want us giving them things. And I feel like this team right now appears to be more equipped to deal with that and not lose leads, not give teams goals. Give them opportunities. So I'm very, very optimistic going into this game. Speaking of the Spurs team, I know a lot of people on social media talking about, all these YouTube comment sections saying, they don't have Hugo Lloris, they don't have Dali Ali. It's still Spurs. In my opinion, as good as Hugo Lloris is, I think Vorm is a quality backup keeper, maybe the best in the league. A couple seasons ago, he did really well against us, being kind of that sweeper keeper. There was a couple times where he beat Mane to the ball, probably a little close to the ball from the angle, because to me, no one's beating Mane one-on-one in the race. And Phil Lark, what's up, brother? So, I think not having Lloris is okay, but Vorm is a good backup keeper. You can say what you will, what happened against Watford. He's a decent keeper in my opinion. And to me, Dele Alli had that breakout season, and since then he's been known for three things. One is diving. Two is a photo of him getting head. Three is this. Whatever that is. That's what he's known for. He's not known for being an amazing football player in my mind anymore. Sure, he has flashes of things, but to me, I think they almost have kind of an upgrade in bringing Son in, assuming Son is going to play. Back from his duties with Korea, South Korea, I think it was. So they'll have Son, they'll have Lucas Moura, which is almost like a new signing for them. He came on late for them last year, didn't really show a lot of what he can do. But so far this season, he's been doing really, really well, and I think he's been picking up a lot of the slack left from yours truly, Harry Kane. I might do one, Steven. I might do one. I'll let you know if I do. It really depends on what you guys want to do. I mean, if there's enough people that want to join, then cool. But if not, then I'll probably just do a solo thing. Or this might be the video before the game. So, for Liverpool, look, might be a shock for some people, but I think Fab should start in this game. I think Dembele, if he plays well for them, they usually do well. He's a physical presence. I don't see anyone in our squad really matching up with him. Genie, maybe, but I think for Fabinho, this is a game you put Fabinho in my opinion. I wouldn't be mad because, again, I said when it's perfect for Klopp, he'll do it. I think you put Fab in and obviously Naby Keita and then maybe Milner or Genie. Huge game on Saturday. I hope Klopp isn't still using that early game excuse. I love when people say this stuff about Klopp because people don't really want to talk this way about Klopp because Klopp does tend to make a lot of excuses for things. And to me, that's a weak mentality. You know, you put that in already, your players are thinking, oh, okay, well, you know, the man just said this, so if we lose, you know, he'll understand that. No. And I know that's not the reality. I don't think Klopp would ever accept losing or bad performances, but it already paints that picture or in your mind or, you know, gives you that idea of, oh, well, these are the issues that are put before us. So if we falter, then, you know, at least the manager said that it's possible that we would, or has brought things out to say, it's kind of tough luck. You know, listen, this is football, man. And these guys that love to play the game, they're getting paid lots of money. I don't care if it's 20 whatever games in 7 days. Suit up, boot up, and play the game. I mean, that's what it is. I'm tired of the complaining. I'm tired of the excuses. All the fans in the UK, all the early kickoff. I couldn't care less. I want to see Liverpool play. It's been long enough. I wouldn't care what time they were playing. I'm gonna wake up and watch the game regardless. That's what we do here. So I'm looking forward to it. I think for us, again, I think most of the players are pretty much shoe-ins as far as who's gonna play in this game. The front three, obviously, we know that. But for me in the midfield, that's where for most of the season we'll be thinking who's gonna be there, who's gonna hold it down, who's gonna be consistent, and what's our best three? What's our best three? We haven't seen Fab yet. I believe he's going to play in the PSG game, which is pretty much right after this game at the weekend, I think Tuesday. So are you going to just throw him into that? You got to believe that Fab is going to feature in that PSG game. Maybe Klopp thinks he's going to feature but not start. To me, the Spurs game this weekend is a good place to put him in at. That's just my opinion. The Lark says, I hope Naby gets a chance to shine in the game. I'd go for Naby, Genie, and Milner. Yeah, that's probably a safe three. I mean, that's the three that's kind of been getting us through this first part of the season, minus the last game against Leicester. Of course, Henderson stepped in, but I wouldn't mind that. I'm really. This is a game that I just think it would be good to see Fab in. I know some people might think, an away game to Spurs, big top 6 team. I don't care. You know, you bring in top players to play in these games, to play in general, but especially play in these games. So, got to figure he's going to feature at some point. I think it'll be PSG, and to me, if he's not starting the game Saturday, he's got to at least come off the bench. You got to see what you have in this guy. Not that you don't know, because you see it in training. You saw it when he played with Monaco. You know what player you bought. But in this team, preseason is not enough to show, in my opinion, to show what Fab has. I need to see him in a competitive game that means something. So we'll see. We'll see. Either way, I'm not too bothered. As long as Henderson's not starting with Genie and Milner, I'm happy. I don't care if you throw Shaqiri in there. You put Genie, Naby, and Milner. Whatever you got to do, that's fine. I just hope Klopp does not start Hendo. To me, Hendo, as he's been doing all season so far, has been much better coming off the bench. Not as a player to start for me. Fab could play right back, as Trent is only young and played quite a lot. Yeah, I thought about that too. A lot of people think that that's, you know, not fair for Klein. I'm not in a world of what's fair and what's not. There's too many things in this world that aren't fair, and no one whines about it. You just go on with life. So to me, If Klein isn't doing enough to get the role, then he's not doing enough to get the role. I mean, and we know what Fab has done with Brazil. We know that he started out as a fullback, and coming to Monaco, he switched his position up. So that's a good shout. I've heard it before. I wouldn't mind that. Are we going to throw him in a position for us that we've never seen him at least in preseason? He has. I don't think he played any right back. I don't know. But the midfield is where the questions are. The goalkeeper, the defense, the front three. We know that. Could Klopp throw a curveball in there and sit one of the front three and put Shaqiri in? I think it's possible. It's probably not probable. I don't think that's going to happen. So Joe Gomez has impressed me so far. Me too. And I think, again, this is another test, if you will. You know what I mean? Again, we've played some decent sides, but we have not played anyone on the level of Tottenham. Let's just make sure that's clear. And I'm not overhyping Tottenham, but at the end of the day, none of those teams are on the level that Tottenham is. And so Tottenham just lost to Watford. They're going to be really, really excited and trying to right that wrong and get back to winning ways. And knowing if they lose, that could set them back pretty significantly. It's still early in the season, but I think that will make them 6 points off of us. So at least 6 points, if not more. So, 6. So, listen, both coaches are going to believe they can win this game. And, sure, maybe both coaches, if the league came into them and said, hey, man, I know it's been a rough week. You got a lot of games coming up. We'll both give you a draw. Maybe the both managers will say, yeah, we'll take it. Maybe. But to me, that's a loser's mentality. And I think a lot of fans have jumped on that. And I just hope that I believe the manager and the players don't have that same kind of train of thought. Got to play the games. Got to play the games and try to get 3 points out of all of them. Therefore, I hope Gomez stays fit. He was so unlucky. Yeah. I think that injury came at an international break last time we saw, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, listen, Gomez is doing an amazing job. He's got to keep up, keep his confidence high, keep playing within himself. Don't try to be something he's not, which I'm sure he'll do. And again, it really just shows how well certain guys look playing next to Virgil van Dijk. And that's not a knock on these players, especially Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is putting a lot of work to become the player he is. It's not about Van Dijk. Van Dijk didn't make him who he was. I think playing Gomez next to Lovren and or Matip, I think Gomez would look really good. To see what he did at right back out of position, I thought he did that pretty well. But he looks very comfortable. He looks like this is what he was born to. This is where he was born to play, at that center back role. And to be playing next to Van Dijk, it's an amazing thing. I think we all in the summertime were thinking, why didn't we go and get a center back? And I think that's one of the things you got to really commend Jurgen Klopp on. He's really about taking his time, finding the right player, but also seeing what he has within his team. So that's one thing that we can criticize Klopp for, these little minor things that we do from time to time, but we have to big him up as well. And I think that's something that a lot of managers can learn from. Build within your squad. And if the right player's not there, you don't just sign someone just for, to fill a gap. You want someone who's going to come in and really, really be a pivotal part in what it is your team is doing. So, again, no significant injuries. Lallana, to me, doesn't even really count. And I think if you had to pick someone to be injured out of a hat with names in it, you'd hope to pick Lallana. Owen, what's going on, bro? So, I'm really excited about it. And just hope that the boys can continue. And look, if there's an idea that, Spurs are on our level or have surpassed us in the last few years, this is a game to prove them wrong. I don't believe that, but it's up to the boys, up to the manager to get things right this weekend. It's really up to them. And so there's been talks about, do we park the bus and listen, we play Liverpool football is what we do. We leave that up to Spurs. They want to do that. Spurs would have seen what Leicester did against us, but also would have seen what Leicester did to us with Hendo in that 6. So, and this is why I bring up Fabinho, because I think he's very, very much better, more equipped at, being press resistant. So, Owen says, I think it's about time we gave Spurs a thrashing. Yeah, listen, I'll go with a 1-0. I'll go with a 2-0. For me, it's not even about, and in my mind, a thrashing is a total domination of the team. Keeping Kane out of our goal. Putting pressure on them. Here's the thing. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. A lot of people are saying 3-2, 3-1, and I'll take all those as long as we have the bigger number. But for me, I think it'll be a really stingy slugfest of a game. I really do. And it'll be about what team is more clinical when they get chances. Because, look, it's Liverpool versus Spurs. They're going to be chances. And hopefully we get more of them. But even if we get more of them, we need to be capitalizing on our chances. Actually, I'd like a 0 win. Yeah, I don't care what the numbers are as long as we have more than the other team, especially in a game like this. By hook or by crook, however we do it, we need to get this win. It's not about let's take a draw or if we lose, it's not that bad. It is bad. It is bad. Early in this season, we need to be keeping pace, staying at the top of this league for as long as we can. If that means toward the end of all the way to the last day of the season, great. Now, there might be times when we might fluctuate and fall down to second, go back to first, go back to second. We need to stay up in between those two numbers and not like, United and be 30, 40 points, whatever it was behind City, but be right on City's coattails or them on ours. It needs to be City Liverpool for this whole season. And I think Spurs feel like they're a team that should be in the conversation of title contenders. Let's give them another day to think about that. Let's give them another day. Let's give them their fan base another week, more days to discuss why they didn't get somebody in the transfer window. Let's give them another day to say, oh, wow, okay, Liverpool are for real. Let's give them another day to realize that they can put the banter that they have of them being a big club or on our level or better to rest. But again, it's up to the boys. It's up to the boys. And mentally, I want to see the team at it from the opening whistle. I don't care about World Cup. I don't care about international breaks. Suck it up, put it together, and enjoy your football. This is Spurs we're talking about. And as good as they are, all due respect to that manager and the players that they have, we should be beating Spurs every time we play them, in my opinion. And that's just how I feel. Hassan, what's up? Liverpool want to win the Premier League. They need to win these games, especially against our... Exactly. That's why I don't get this whole, I'll take a draw. I'll be happy with a draw. I don't get it. I don't get it. We need to be winning. That was the best way to say it. We need to be winning these games. I don't care if it's on a neutral, Wembley, Sprite Hard Lane, wherever. We need to be beating Spurs every time we play them. Okay, this is Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? They're not on. They should not be on our level. It should be a team that we're scared, nervous going into. Now, naturally, you get some nervousness because it's a Liverpool game. You know how big it is, whatever. But this whole thing about they can hurt us this way, they can hurt. Both teams can hurt both teams. My thing is, I keep saying we need to be clinical. That's the only thing I'm concerned with is if we're going to be clinical or not, because the opportunities are going to present themselves. So Spurs are not our closest rivals, Hassan, if that's what you're saying. I think he just means as far as like top 6, top 4. And if that's what he means, I agree with that. I mean, they are a top 4, top 6 rival. They're not a rival in the same way as Everton or United, of course, but they are a rival in that sense. Need to be taking points off them. Yeah. So, listen, man, we know what it is. There's not really much else to say. No more words needed. No more trash talk. No more banter. It's about the game, and I wish it was in an hour. I wish it was in 5 minutes. Waiting until Saturday is. It's been a tough week, man. But I'm glad football is back. I'm glad Liverpool is back. And I just look to see us really, really show that we're serious, man. I think this is one season that we can say going in. I think we all, if you're a Liverpool fan, you think we can win it every year. But this is a season that you really, really feel like it's a possibility. It's not just like a hope or if other things go in our favor. This team should be able to win it. And it started against West Ham, but there's like a restart now. There's a reboot. They escape and shut the computer down. And now it's a reboot, and we're back to playing Spurs. So now it gets really tasty. Now it gets really, really spicy. And this stretch of games is really, we've said it, you've heard it on every other YouTube channel. This is really going to prove what this team is made of. And so, being clinical in the game Saturday is really the only thing that I'm really looking to see that we can do. I think I will be fine defensively. We gotta convert our chances though. Hugo isn't playing, is he? If so, who would be the goal for them? It's Michel Vorm. Michel Vorm, they're number 2. But I mean, according to some Spurs fans, they're calling for some other guys. I don't even know his name. Starts with an S. But that's fickle fans. They know Michel Vorm is a good backup keeper. They're only saying it because they lost to Watford, as if he was the reason why they lost only. They scored. Listen, I think Vorm is the best keeper when Lloris is out. I think he's Gazaniga, whatever his name is. I think he's the best backup keeper in the league. So, I mean, whatever. Listen, I don't watch Spurs every week. So, Spurs fans probably have a better idea. Oh, is he an ex-Southampton keeper? Okay. Listen, I don't really give a damn who's in the goal for them. I don't care who it is. At the end of the day, we need to make sure we are not missing, especially sitters. Like, we cannot be missing chances like that. In a game like this, The chances that will come. I don't know how many they will be, but if it's a limited amount, then obviously we have to definitely take advantage of it. So just looking for us to continue in our really kind of cocky, confident way. And that's how this team looks right now. It looks that like they're not really scared, shaking up against any team. And with the additions of Allison and Van Dyke with a full preseason, he looks much improved. Gomez coming to his own, the fullbacks. You got Trent, bombing it, and you got Andy Bobby kind of on the short passing situation, the 1-2 with the midfield, Kato, or there'd be Mane. So, yeah, I'm going another clean sheet. I know that's kind of maybe off the wall. I'm going another clean sheet. I'm going 2-0. I'm going 2-0. Very physical game, dirty, some tough tackles in there. And I think Naby gets his first. And I think Mane gets one. I think Mane stays in scoring ways. So, again, man, just incredibly excited about this game. I can't believe Liverpool is finally back. It seems like it's been forever. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As far as starting 11, what do you think about that team? 2-0, boom. Yeah, I like that. Heard it here first. Yeah. Me too, man. 2-0. Mo Salah masterclass incoming. I'll take that. I'll take Mo Salah masterclass. Let's see. We shouldn't be scared of Tottenham. We need to show them that we are the better team. Yeah, we do. We do. I couldn't say it better. So hopefully we do that, and it gives us a really good feeling going into the rest of these games. You don't want to lose a game to Spurs going into the first Champions League game of the season at home. You don't want to do that. And so, listen, all you people who think, you'll be happy with take a draw, that's cool. It is what it is. I mean, anything's better than a loss. I get it, but I want to see us power through and keep up this consistency of the league so far. 3-1 as they will give Kane a penalty. Yeah, and I thought about that. 3-1 was my initial feeling, honestly, Mame. Because we know what they do, especially Lamela plays. People talking about no Ali. Lamela, for them, is an asset mainly not because he's an amazing football player, but he has this kind of shithouse way about him. And we saw that. He goes down easily, especially if the game is close, he'll do it. And Kane is renowned for it. And all Ali would do is add another diver to their team. So, I can see that. I could definitely see a penalty. Or a crazy call outside the box and Eriksson gets a goal. So yeah, 3-1 is what I was going to go with, but I can't help it. I'm loving how our defense is playing. I'm loving our goalkeeper, and I think we make up for the Leicester game and get a clean sheet. That's what we should have had in the Leicester game. 2-0 clean sheet. That's 4 clean sheets to start the season. So hopefully we get our 4th and get Spurs. Listen, at the end of the day, like I said, man, I don't really care if the score as long as we have more than them. So looking forward to it. Very, very excited. And we will see you guys on Saturday, bright and early, 7 a.m. this time. Kane will be looking to claim anything. That's right. Yes. Kane is that him. That's his name, Harry Kane. And just remember all the trash he's talked. Just remember all that. Maybe go back and look at some YouTube clips about what he said about Liverpool and putting their money where their mouth is, and we can't give him 2 chances. And Kane he's a big talker now. That season where they were fighting with Leicester and probably should have won it. He's out there putting, images on Twitter or Instagram, whatever it was, about Lions, and they were coming to get Leicester's chain and all that. So, listen, I would love nothing more than to see Harry Kane goalless in the game Saturday, and that's really just frustrated him defensively. And that's what we just need to do, let's be honest. This is the games against games against sides like this. And let's be honest, Harry Kane is a top-notch striker. He's averaging 30 goals a season, I believe. And he just he's not the fastest dude. He's physical, he's strong, can hold the ball up well, but it's more about his movement. And so I got to give him credit on that. But these are the games where you want to see that it's amazing, and it's good to see us beat West Ham like we did. But we see what West Ham's doing. They're going to get beat like that a lot this season, with that coach or without him. So that's all fine and well. We haven't conceded only but 1 goal. But this is a game where you want to see the defense really, really show what they can do and shut down a top-level striker. So, praying they do that, and I just can't wait. 7 o'clock a.m. here, I can't wait. We'll be up doing a pre-match, the starting 11 confirmation, halftime. You know the deal. If you come to this channel, you know the deal. So I'll see you guys soon this weekend. All right.